Ledwick's looking to capitalize on someone not paying attention to their wall. You see inside the cone, just sitting there waiting. He could crash pad it. We've seen it before. We saw it go against Benji. There's Hidden. He's going to fall as well. Hidden goes down. What a big elimination there. Another player near the top of the leaderboard going down. Safik falling as well. Ledwick is dropping down, though. He knows there's players riding below him, but he wants a piece of the action because he's only got 53 builds. He definitely needs to find something. His ammo lacking as well. 5 shots with that charged shotgun is going to go through in an instant in this endgame, so he has to pick up an elimination. He also does not have priority on rotation as it's pulling away from him. Poor crash pads in his inventory will allow him to rotate, but not as effectively some of these other players, and he set this trap. He's waiting for this player to just make the wrong edit and go out, but I doubt that they're going to fall for it.
Well, he's waiting. He does have priority on the zone. There's a player right next to his box. I wasn't sure if that player was on the cone. He finds the 83 tag and then follows up right away. ADN going down in 41st, misses the placement point, so a huge pick going right there. Mr. Savage still in the lobby as well. We're into the moving circles. That's the late game. You're going to start seeing players burning utility, using all their builds, just trying to get to that next safe zone and avoid fire from their opponents. But you also have to watch out for those sharks and those aggressive players, the playmakers, and the ones who are going to be the one driving the action as we're on board here with Dual Media Snipe currently below the threshold for the Storm Surge, but that should turn off shortly here. Only 7 players need to fall. Dual Media Snipe will add into it right now, pushing himself above by taking out Griff and potentially finding a nice little upgrade there in terms of his, he will get the legendary shotgun in there as well. And we're closing in on top 30 as 7-Tor picks up Nate.
And with Snipe's inventory, he has 7 crash pads. This is what you want in this meta. You want to have as many crash pads as you can. As bad Sniper is going to be caught trying to take a shield. Mongo's in this game. Xweez is in this game. Ledwick is in this game as well. We have yet to see Savage go down. Flo is in this game here. Rifla as well. 2 eliminations, 79 builds. We'll see if he's going to be able to get any more.
Deceptos is also still up. We saw him there on the wide. That was the player who was in 3rd. He should be able to push up as every 5 players will be a placement point. Reason gets ticked over by Frenzy Fishy. Orange takes out Cartoon. 7-Tor gets Sebi, closing in on top 20. That's another point going over as now Rifla looking to add his name to that list of the Become Legends players pushing their way up the leaderboard. But Deceptos picks up Wanloss and Savage picks up Z Andy. So still a who's who of top players left, but that's everyone in the lobby as Thomas HC gets another one. Mongrel picks up an Elam and Rifla ends Mr. X's run. Skype also getting Orange. 2 more players will need to drop before we close in on that top 10 as 7-Tor also gets Mongo. But the question is, who's on the high ground and is there caddy loot? And right as I say that, Thomas HD with that mythic shockwave launcher. Can we make it? 3 out of 3. Rifla though, bottom right hand corner of your screen. Dual Media Snipe, top right hand. 5 Elams for Snipe, 3 for Rifla. Thomas on the high ground and the wide on your left.
And Thomas using it so well, but Rifla is doing just as well as he's being aggressive there on to players of leave. That's going to be a squeeze in the box as he is going to get the elimination there. Thomas may have the high ground right now, but Rifla is putting on a show. Snipe as well, 5 eliminations. Ledwick going to get taken down there by Vadil. I'm going to take down another one as they're going up the mountain. He's reloading that shotgun because he's going to need it as crash pads going through. 6 eliminations there for him, 4 for Rifla in the bottom right. Thomas still on the high ground. We're going up a mountain. Keen needs to get up. So does Skype, very low HP. Skype's out of builds as well. He's more likely going to take over through the zone as well as Keen. Rifla, very, very healthy. Crash pad up for high ground. Thomas HD going to take it for now. Dual Media Snipe, though, being aggressive. He's going for it. He does not secure it. Thomas HD in zone, not as healthy as Dual Media Snipe now. Rifla with the RPG, trying to throw it down. Shots coming on through. Chaos. Kane going to go down. Sky going to be the one to do it, so he stayed on through the mountain. The HP wasn't enough, but Snipe with 6 eliminations, player right on the edge of his box. He's going to take down Skype, and now Snipe versus Thomas versus Rifla. There's RPG's going to go through. You may have Kid Shockwave Launcher, but I've got a shotgun for you, says Rifla, as he takes him down. 5 eliminations. Rifla versus Dual Media Snipe on the low ground. RPG, Kid Shockwave Launcher as well. He's got too many things to reload. Will it be enough? Will he be able to do it? Dual Media Snipe in a bad spot, though. Does he have floppers? Does he have anything to make it work? Does he have any builds? Shots go through. Does that build dropping down? Shockwave's not going to be a factor here. RPG going to be used. Rifla concerned on only using that. And I think this may be the key to picking up the victory royale. A lot of builds remaining here for him. This is the game. Snipe is running out. RPG going down. That should be the shot, and it is. He gets the tag, drops down, comes through, and shotgun for the victory royale.
And brilliant decision from Rifle, opting to use the actual rocket launcher instead of that mythic shockwave launcher because the zone pulled back over old builds. He needed to destroy them. If you're covered, you're not going to be able to get through. So rather than wasting the rocket ammo, uses the destructive potential, secures the victory royale, and he says to his org mates, it's not about you right now, it's about me. All sees this opportunity. 3 games down, 3 games left. Zeke, Bala, Shio, please let us know what's going on because this is so tense at the top. This is absurd.
It is absolutely tense at the top. I mean, EU is firing on all cylinders today, and it is an all-out battle at the top. We have to take a look at the standings. Now, we know coming into this game, Anas was holding that number 1 spot. But the question becomes, how many points has he racked up in that last game? And does he still hold that number 1 spot?
I think it's going to be a dead heat at the top. I mean, it's neck and neck for so many different people because we've seen this kind of bounce all around. Everybody wants to be involved in this race.
And Deceptos is the one who's all the way in the lead in first place, 32 points, 9 eliminations, and he's playing so well that he doesn't even need a victory royale.
No, he doesn't. Not at all. Flois is up there. He kind of had that first moment, that game 1 win. Anas will clap back. And then Rifle, it's kind of in order there. But all the players who won the games are literally tied up at 30 points. It's all about elims. There's even a further tie for Anas and Rifle.
Yeah, things are going so fast, even past that. From 6th to 10th, Rezon is still holding on to his spot. Froggy, who was 2nd, is now in 9th. But Thomas HD, Letwick, these legend status names are just doing everything they can. It is not enough to keep up with the top 5.
And Rifle is showing he belongs in that top 10, right? Coming off his first game, an 11th place with his 2 eliminations. Second game, 73rd place. And now the victory out with 6 eliminations. These are the swings we need to see if people want that number 1 spot.
And there are swings happening. There might not all be seen because you can see it. Vidil in 19th place. He just had a very significant game. Look at the elims for him. He's actually tied up with those players up at the top of the leaderboards in terms of elims. He just needs to convert on some of these other games to make it really count.
Yeah, everyone past the top 10 are still hungry, and if they can't make these end games, just look at the elims for everyone. Carrot, Squeeze, AR, Baffo, they're past 5. They're fighting in that mid game, in the early game, doing whatever they can to get points and stay relevant after game 3 in this competition.
Guys, we are off to the races. We are halfway through this sprint, and we can see the finish line there. The question is, who will cross first?
The blocks are off. The starting blocks are completely off. These guys are off to the races, like you said. And we're kind of trying to see who's going to catch up when we get to the finish line. We're basically halfway there. And at this point, just trying to extend the lead until we get towards those final games and start dashing towards the win.
You got to pace yourself, though, right? We've seen it in end games. We've seen it on the leaderboards. These guys who are coming up on top to start with are now not being able to hold on to the first place slot. And it's about first place, Zeke.
Man, there's only one Axe of Champions to go around. I mean, there's a lot of stuff, as you mentioned, Ball, that we did miss out of this last game. You got to break it down for us, man.
That we do. There are so many things for these guys doing. It's kind of a freestyle on some attempts. Snipe for him. Long range, charge, shock, and shots on players like Bad Sniper who started the day off so strong, but Snipe will start to rise. And there's another one. He's just looking through these small peak boxes, just the space in the end game to build up the box and get more of these. Every time you look out, there's so many people fighting to try to stay alive.
Yeah, you mentioned Vidil, who was very much alive in that last game, getting a record amount of 5 eliminations so far in his run in these grand finals. After that, still looking for more for everyone who was in this foot race. It was intense. They wanted to have a leg in the competition.
And we said it. Things that were missed. 7 Tor goes off on a spree, back-to-back-to-back elims, and he does it so well. There are so many people here in his lane, but for most of them, it's a false start in this endgame.
Yeah, I was thinking beside that Storm so much, looking for shots from box to box, had the AR to clear out walls. After that, got into boxes himself. If you couldn't get things from range, he was right up in your face and got elims on players like Mr. Savage. Moved past that, though, and still played a phenomenal game, ending somewhere near top 15.
But there's no signs of anybody lapping anyone else, except for maybe the Become Legends guys. There's so many of these names starting to push up towards the top, and look at that back-to-back. Two players looking to lobby focus on the same person, and it works out for one, but then the player who he actually had taken a little bit from ends up getting put down. That was Snazy too.
Yeah, it was a rough run for Rifle here. Just look at all the things he had to overcome. Box to box while getting third party, still got the elimination down, got to hold down the wall, and the coolest RPG shot after this awesome elimination on the Thomas HD I've ever seen. Clay was saying it was hard to actually get to this reloads down, get these power weapons situated, but he shoots an RPG, catches himself with a waterfall, and then connects with a drop down charge pump. What a play.
What a shot at the end. That is ridiculous. We've seen that a number of times from the Caddy launcher players. Kit Shockwave launcher so good, but in that case, he doesn't opt to use it at all, just relies on his pure instincts.
Dude, that's all it takes sometimes. Sundown likes to say it best. Some days you just have to make sure you can hit your shots better than someone else. And for Rifle, that's what we're seeing. He's like, hey, big time to make the moves. It's happening now. Now, guys, as the competition does heat up, we need to cool down. We have 3 games left before we make an FNCS champion. But with that being said, we're going to step away. When we return, we'll have the conclusion from Europe. See you guys in 5.